We're diving deep into the fascinating world of coins, and specifically, the 2020 Mint Mark Washington $2 coin. Is it really worth millions of dollars? What's the story behind these coins? And how can you spot one that might change your life forever? Stick around because we're uncovering all the details you need to know. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the history behind this coin. The 2020 Washington quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which started in 2010 and wrapped up in 2021. This program celebrated iconic landmarks from each state, territory, and the District of Columbia. In 2020, the designs featured landmarks like the Tallgrass Prairie in Kansas, the Marsh-Billings Rockefeller site in Vermont, and more. The Mint Mark means these quarters were minted at the Denver Mint. In 2020, the U.S. Mint produced a significant number of these coins for circulation, but here's the catch: not all of them are created equal. Some coins have unique errors or special conditions that make them extremely valuable to collectors. More on that in a moment. Now, you might be wondering, why would a 2020 Washington quarter be worth anything more than 25 cents? Here's the deal: coin value depends on rarity. Coins in pristine condition, often referred to as mint state orms, are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. If your quarter has a grade of 67 or higher, it could already be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Most circulated coins don't achieve these grades because they show wear and tear, errors and varieties. This is where things get really exciting. Some 2020 quarters have striking errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or even die cracks. These errors can significantly increase the coin's value. For example, a well-known error, like a double die on the obverse or reverse, can fetch thousands from eager collectors. Low population coins: if very few coins with high grades or errors exist, their value skyrockets. This scarcity creates huge demand among collectors. And here's the kicker: a few rare examples of these coins have sold at auctions for tens of thousands of dollars, and some collectors are speculating that exceptionally rare varieties could reach 6 or even 7 figures. So, yes, in the right circumstances, these coins could indeed be worth millions. But it's not every 2020 quarter, so make sure you're paying attention to the details. Flip the coin and check just below Washington's portrait on the obverse side. The D indicates it was minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass to look for scratches, wear, or blemishes. If your coin looks nearly flawless, it could be worth grading professionally. Search for errors. Look for anything unusual, like doubling of letters or numbers, double die, off-center strikes, or cracks in the design, die cracks. These errors can massively increase the coin's value. If you think your coin is in exceptional condition or has an error, send it to a professional grading service like PIGS or NG. A certified grade can give your coin credibility and increase its value. Check recent auction sites or numismatic forums to see if coins similar to yours have sold. This can give you an idea of what collectors are willing to pay. To give you some real-world inspiration, here are some examples of big sales. A 2020 Washington quarter with a high-grade MS68 recently sold for over 1,000 at auction. An error coin featuring a dramatic double die was snatched up for 5,000, and while no 2020 quarter has hit the $1 million mark yet, rare coins like these have massive potential as collectors continue to hunt for them. So, there you have it: the history, the value, and the potential of the 2020 Washington quarter. While not every coin is worth a fortune, the right combination of condition, errors, and rarity can make all the difference. So, the next time you get a quarter in your change, take a closer look. You just might have a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin and collectibles content, and share this with your friends who might have some rare coins lying around. Also, drop a comment below if you found a valuable coin or have questions about your collection. We're talking about something that could be sitting right under your nose: the 2020 Mint Mark Washington $2 coin. Yep, that's right. This little coin has a rich history and, in some cases, could be worth millions. Intrigued? Let's dive in. The 2020 Washington quarter was a significant part of American currency. It featured George Washington's portrait on the obverse and a detailed eagle on the reverse. But what makes this coin truly special? Well, in 2020, the United States Mint made some changes to the design, particularly in the State Quarter series, which was launched in 1999 and lasted through 2008. That's right, the year 2008 marked the final year of the 50th State Quarters program. 2008 saw the final state quarters released, including designs for Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, and Hawaii. Each of these states had their unique representation on the reverse side of the quarter. But one key element to note, these quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with the EP Mint mark. So what's the deal with the EP Mint mark? Well, the Mint mark indicates where the coin was struck. The EP represents the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the oldest and most important minting facilities in the country. While quarters from the Philadelphia Mint aren't usually as sought after as those from the Denver Mint or San Francisco Mint, this particular coin stands out due to its rarity and special attributes. Now, let's talk about why this particular quarter can be worth millions of dollars. It's not the standard 2008 Washington quarter that's worth a fortune, it's the rare, error versions of the coin. Yes, you heard that right. Some of these quarters have minting errors that can cause their value to skyrocket. For instance, there have been reports of double die errors on the 2008 quarters, where the obverse features a noticeable doubling of the design, especially around the lettering and date. These errors can drastically increase the coin's value, making it a highly prized find among collectors. While most regular 2008 Washington quarters are worth only face value, the error varieties can fetch thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. In fact, some collectors have paid upwards of 10,000 or more for a high-grade double die or off-center 2008 Washington quarter. And that's not even the most extreme. A truly rare find could potentially be worth much, much more. Imagine stumbling across one of these in your spare change. Could you be the lucky one to find $1 million quarter? Want to know how to spot a rare 2008 Washington quarter? Here are a few tips. Look for noticeable doubling on the date and letters on the obverse. Check for off-center strikes, where the coin appears misaligned. Inspect for die cracks or die chips, which can also increase a coin's value. And remember, condition is key. Coins that are in mint condition with minimal wear and tear are much more valuable than those that are heavily circulated. So, whether you're an experienced coin collector or just getting started, the 2008 Mint Mark Washington quarter is definitely worth keeping an eye out for. The errors on these coins have the potential to be extremely valuable, and you never know, your next pocket change could be a jackpot. If you've ever come across a rare 2008 Washington quarter or any other collectible coin, drop a comment below, and let us know what you found. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more coin hunting tips, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exciting find. We're diving into the fascinating history, value, and $1 million worth of one very special coin, the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark. Yep, you heard that right, the seemingly ordinary coin has been known to be worth millions. Let's find out why. First, let's take a look at the 1965 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like just another quarter in your pocket. However, this particular coin has some serious secrets hidden within. But before we get to the value, let's talk about the history behind the 1965 Washington quarter, and the mysterious absence of a mint mark. 1965 was a turning point in U.S. coinage history. The country was in the midst of major coinage changes during the early 1960s. In 1964, silver was removed from most U.S. coins due to the rising cost of silver, and in 1965, the U.S. government made a huge decision, the introduction of the first ever Copernical-clad coins, including the Washington quarter. So, where does the no mint mark part come into play? Let me explain. The U.S. Mint, which produces coins, typically places a mint mark on coins to indicate where they were made. However, in 1965, a surprising thing happened: certain quarters were released without a mint mark. Most Washington quarters made in 1965 were produced at either the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. But, in a strange twist of fate, the 1965 Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on some of its quarters that year. Why? Well, there are a few theories, but the most widely accepted reason is that it was an emergency production response to coin shortages in the US during that time. The Philadelphia Mint didn't add a mint mark as a result of hurried, high-volume production. Now, hold on to your seats because here's the kicker. That missing mint mark turned out to be the key to making the 1965 Washington quarter incredibly valuable. You see, this error coin is not commonly found, and because it's such a rare occurrence, it became highly sought after by coin collectors. Due to the rarity, collectors have gone crazy for these 1965 quarters with no mint mark. Depending on the coin's condition, a 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark can fetch anywhere from hundreds to even thousands of dollars. In mint condition, these quarters have been known to sell for upwards of 10,000, and at the most extreme cases, we've even seen auctions where 1965 no mint mark quarters went for over 100,000. And guess what? If you have one of these quarters tucked away in your change jar, you could be sitting on a goldmine, potentially worth millions, depending on the rarity and grade of the coin. But here's the catch: not all of them are as valuable as they seem. To truly understand the value of your 1965 Washington quarter, it's important to get it professionally graded. Factors like wear and tear, discoloration, and even slight imperfections can make a huge difference in price. So, if you think you might have one of these valuable coins, the first step is to have it appraised. When grading your coin, professional services like PIGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGT, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, will assess the coin's condition, assign it a grade, and certify its authenticity. A higher grade means more value. So, what's the bottom line? The 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark may look like a regular coin, but thanks to its rarity, it can be worth a small fortune. Make sure to check your collections, your pocket change, or any old coins you might have, because one of these rare coins could be worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. Hey, coin collectors and enthusiasts! Welcome back to No Channel. If you've ever found a 1965 mint mark Washington quarter in your pocket change, you may want to take a closer look. This coin could be worth way more than its face value. In fact, some of these quarters are worth millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, millions. Stick around as we dive deep into the history, the value, and how certain 1965 mint quarters are incredibly rare and valuable. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter dollar was first introduced in 1932, celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Fast forward to 1999, and it marked a special moment in US coinage history. The year 1999 was the final year for the state quarters program, which featured designs celebrating each of the 50 states. 1999 was a big year in the world of coin collecting, as the US Mint produced the last round of state quarters before moving on to other series like the Sacagawea dollar. But there's a fascinating twist when it comes to the 1999 Mint Washington quarter, especially when it comes to its mintage and rare varieties. Most of the 1999 Washington quarters are not particularly rare, and their value is around 25 cents, just face value. But here's where things get interesting. Some 1999 quarters have errors and rarities that make them worth a small fortune. So, what exactly are we looking for? First up, we've got the 1999 wide M variety. If you look closely, you'll notice a small gap between the letters A and Mint America on the reverse side of the coin. This variety is quite rare, and while it's not worth millions, it can still fetch a respectable sum of 500,000 depending on its condition. Next, we have the elusive 1999 proof-like quarter. This one's not technically an error, but rather a highly reflective coin that's visually stunning. Some of these coins, if they're in near-perfect condition, have been known to sell for 2,000 to 3,000 at auction. So, definitely check your collection for these beauties. Now, let's talk about the holy grail of 1999 quarters, the 1999 silver-clad quarter. It is believed that a small number of silver-clad quarters were mistakenly minted alongside regular Copernical versions in 1999. These coins are extremely rare, and if you happen to own one, you could be sitting on a gold mine. These can sell for over 100,000, and in some cases, prices have soared to the millions of dollars in auctions. How can you identify a rare 1999 quarter? Well, checking for minting errors like the white M variety is step 1. Additionally, pay attention to reflective finishes, and look for signs of silver-clad metal. If you're not sure, it's always a good idea to have your coins graded by professional services like PXRing. While most 1999 Washington quarters are worth face value, certain errors and varieties, like the white M, proof-like, and silver-clad, can be incredibly valuable. With some of these rare quarters being worth thousands or even millions of dollars, it's always worth checking your change jar or coin collection to see if you've stumbled upon one of these hidden treasures. So, what should you do with your 1999 quarters? Well, keep an eye out for those rare varieties. You never know, you might just find one that could change your life. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your collection. And, as always, happy hunting! We're diving into the 2014 Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coins, and believe me, some of these could be worth millions of dollars. So, let's take a look at why these quarters are so special and what you need to know about their history and potential value. The Washington quarter, one of the most iconic coins in use, numismatics, has a long and rich history. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter quickly became a staple in American currency. By 1936, the U.S. Mint began producing these coins in various mint facilities across the country. Now, let's talk about the 2014 Mint Mark quarter. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the oldest and most prestigious minting locations in the United States. The 2014 Washington quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the reverse showing an eagle in flight, symbolizing freedom and strength. But what makes the 2014 Mint Mark quarter so special? Is it just a regular coin, or is there something more hidden within? While most of the 2014 quarters are worth just 25 cents, there are certain versions that have become highly sought after by collectors. The value of these coins skyrockets due to unique characteristics that can significantly increase their worth. For example, certain 2014 quarters with special characteristics like error coins, higher grade specimens, or limited edition versions can bring in huge amounts. One of the rarest errors to look for is a 2014 Washington quarter with a double die, which occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing a visible doubling of the design. These error coins can fetch tens of thousands of dollars or even more depending on their condition. Additionally, coins in higher grades, especially those rated M/7 or better by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can also see their values soar. A 2014 quarter in mint condition has the potential to be worth a few $100s, but one that is graded exceptionally well can break into the thousands. Host on screen, and here's where things get really interesting. There are reports of 2014 quarters being sold at auction for over 100,000, sometimes even millions. The combination of error coins, unique features, and rarity can drive up the price incredibly. So, how do you identify if your 2014 Washington quarter could be one of these million-dollar gems? Here are some key things to look for. Look for noticeable doubling in the lettering or details of Washington's portrait. Examine the coin's condition. A coin in perfect, uncirculated condition is worth much more. These special edition coins, usually with a mirror-like finish, are more valuable than regular circulation quarters. Coins with minting errors like overstrikes, missing elements, or initial patterns can be worth far more than a standard coin. Use a magnifying glass or even a coin microscope to inspect your quarters closely. If you spot any of these rare characteristics, you could have something incredibly valuable. If you think you have a valuable 2014 Washington quarter, your next step is to get it appraised. Coin dealers, especially those with expertise in rare use coins, can provide a professional assessment. You can also check auction results online to see how much similar coins are selling for. Remember, selling these coins at auction could help you reach the highest bidders, and platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Stax Bowers are popular for selling rare coins. So, what do you think? Could you be sitting on a small fortune with a 2,014 Washington quarter? It's crazy to think how something so small could hold such potential. Be sure to check your coin collection, and if you find anything unusual, don't hesitate to get it checked out by an expert. We're diving into one of the most interesting and valuable coins from the 21st century, the 2,001 mint mark Washington quarter dollar. You might have one of these in your pocket right now, but did you know some of these quarters are worth millions of dollars? Let's get into it. Cut to intro graphic with the channel's logo. Before we talk about how valuable these coins can be, let's take a step back and explore the history behind the 2,001 Washington quarter dollar. Cut to close-up footage of a 2,001 mint mark Washington quarter. In 2,001, the U.S. Mint released a series of Washington quarters to celebrate the 50 states. These were part of the famous State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The 2,001 quarters were particularly special because they introduced the first 5 states in the program: New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. Cut to images of each state's quarter design. The D Mint mark, which we're focusing on today, stands for the Denver Mint, where these coins were struck. Most of these quarters were produced in mass quantities, so you'll see them in your change often. But some, just like some other coins from this period, have hidden surprises, especially when you look closely. So, what makes some of these 2,001 Washington quarters so valuable? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Cut a close-up of a coin magnified under a loupe or microscope. While most of the 2,001 quarters are worth just 25 cents, a small number of them were struck with errors or rare characteristics, making them worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. One of the most valuable types of 2,001 quarters is the 2,001 Washington quarter with a double die obverse. This rare error occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times, causing the letters and details to appear doubled. If you find one of these quarters, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as 0.000 or more. Show example image or animation of a double die coin. Another rare version is the 2,001 silver-proof quarter. Though these were intended for collectors, some were accidentally circulated, making them highly sought after by serious coin collectors. These silver-proof versions can go for up to 0.000, depending on their condition. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare, valuable quarters in my pocket? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Cut to a close-up of hands inspecting a 2,001 quarter with a magnifying glass. First, look for the obvious signs. Check the details on the obverse, that's the side with Washington's portrait. You're looking for doubling in the letters, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Next, check the edge of the coin for any signs of a unique strike. If the coin feels slightly heavier or different in texture, it could be a silver-proof quarter. But the key is always to check the minting errors closely. You might just spot one of those rare double strikes. So, what's the market like for these rare 2,001 quarters? If you find a truly valuable one, you could sell it to a collector or at a coin auction. Double-day quarters can sometimes fetch prices of over 0.000, depending on the quality. Cut a footage of an online coin auction platform. However, most of these coins will still be worth more than face value, with some fetching anywhere from 10 to 50 depending on their condition, errors, and rarity. If you find one in pristine condition, or with an obvious minting error, you're in for a nice surprise. Now that you know how to spot a valuable 2,001 Washington quarter, keep your eyes peeled. Who knows? You might have a small treasure right in your pocket. Show close-up of a rare 2,001 quarter. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin collecting tips and tricks. And if you found a rare quarter, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your discoveries. We're diving deep into a truly fascinating coin, the 1994 mint mark Washington quarter dollar. You might think it's just another regular quarter, but hold on, this one might just be worth millions. Stick around to learn all about its history, the factors that affect its value, and how you might have a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket right now. Let's jump in. First, let's take a quick look at the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. The coin features the iconic profile of the first U.S. president, designed by John Flanagan. The 1994 Washington quarter, specifically with the mint mark, was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Cut a close-up shot of the 1994 Washington quarter coin. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about the 1994 version? Well, while it wasn't a commemorative year, there are certain unique factors that make this coin stand out among the others. The mint mark on this quarter means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike many other coins, the 1994 Washington quarter with the mint mark didn't have any major design changes or special releases. But where it gets interesting is in the minting process. Some collectors believe that certain coins from this period were struck with an exceptionally high level of precision and detail, which can affect their value. Zoom in on the mint mark and coin design. Looking at the coin, you'll see George Washington's bust on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, which has remained relatively consistent throughout the years. However, certain error coins, with flaws or rare features, have contributed to a lot of the value tied to the 1994 quarter. So, why are some 1994 mint mark Washington quarters worth potentially millions? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and certain quirks. Let me break it down for you. Cut to coin display showing different conditions of quarters. Some 1994 quarters have been found with rare errors like double days, off-center strikes, or incorrect planchets. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors, and can fetch thousands, or in some rare cases, even millions. For example, a 1994 Washington quarter with a double die error could be worth over 100,000 or more. Just like with any other collectible, the condition of the coin is critical. Coins that are in pristine condition, especially those graded M67 or higher by organizations like the PIGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NIC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, are worth much more. In fact, a perfect coin with no scratches or discoloration could push its value up dramatically. While most 1994 quarters are not considered rare, a limited number of high-grade or error coins exist. The scarcity can increase demand and drive the price sky high. Now, you're probably asking, how much is my 1994 Washington quarter worth? Well, if you have one in good condition, it's likely worth around 25 to 50 cents, which is just its face value. But if it's in exceptional condition or has an error, that's where things get exciting. Cut a graphics showing examples of coin values. For example, 1994 quarter in M65, gem uncirculated, condition could be worth around 10 to 15. But let's say you stumble upon a rare error coin, such as a double die or off-center strike, that could be worth thousands of dollars. Some of the most valuable 1994 quarters, especially those in near-perfect condition or with significant mint errors, could be worth anywhere from 5,000 to 100,000, and yes, some rare specimens have even crossed the 1 million mark in certain auction settings. Cut to a close-up of a coin with an error. Check for common minting flaws like double days, off-center strikes, or weak strikes. These are gold mines for collectors. Get your coin graded by a trusted organization like PIGS or NIC. A high-grade coin can significantly increase its value. Do a little research on your specific coin. There are resources online like auction sites and coin dealers who track the latest values and trends in the market. Who knew a coin as seemingly ordinary as the 1994 Washington quarter could have such extraordinary potential? While most of them are still worth only 25 cents, with a bit of luck and a keen eye for detail, you could uncover a piece worth thousands or even millions. Keep an eye out for those rare mint errors and high-grade specimens, and you could be holding onto a treasure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin tips and valuable insights into the world of numismatics. And if you have any questions or a coin you want to learn more about, drop a comment below. We're diving into the fascinating world of the Iliada 995 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, a seemingly ordinary coin that holds extraordinary value. Stick around to find out how one of these quarters could potentially be worth millions. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on any coin collecting tips and tricks. Let's get started. Alright, let's talk about this quarter. At first glance, it looks like just another coin from your pocket. It's got George Washington on the front and the eagle on the back. But the Iliada 995 Mint Mark Washington quarter is far from ordinary. If you have one of these in your collection, you might be holding onto something that could bring you a lot more than face value. Let's break it down. The Iliada 995 Washington quarter is part of a series that was first introduced in Iliada 932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. It features a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse, with the familiar eagle in flight on the reverse. The D mint mark on this particular coin indicates it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the most iconic mints in the US. Mint marks are a key to understanding the variety of coins. The Denver Mint has produced some of the most sought-after coins, but the story doesn't end there. Now, you might be thinking, Iliada 995 Washington quarter. That's not rare, right? Well, yes and no. While there were millions of Iliada 995 quarters produced, over 2 billion to be exact, certain versions of this coin are incredibly rare and highly valuable. Let's talk about that, because this is where it gets interesting. Coin collectors and experts look at several factors to determine a coin's value, and one of the most important is its condition, or grade. A Iliada 995 quarter in average condition might be worth just 25 cents, but a high-grade, nearly flawless example can go for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the rarest varieties of the Iliada 995 quarter is a double die error, where the coin was struck twice, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect on certain letters and numbers. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors, and their value can skyrocket. These Iliada 995 double die quarters can fetch anywhere from a few $100s in lower grades to thousands of dollars in top condition. But here's where it gets really interesting. Some of these error coins, when in perfect mint condition, have sold for over 8 million at auction. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change. It's no wonder these Iliada 995 Washington quarters are considered a holy grail for collectors. The rarity of the doubling effect, combined with the condition of the coin, means that they are worth far more than you might expect. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do you know if your Iliada 995 quarter has this error? You'll want to look closely for signs of doubling on the word Liberty, the date, or even In God We Trust. If you spot any of these signs, you might have a very valuable coin in your hands. And remember, coin grading is everything. Make sure you check with a professional or have your coin graded by a trusted service to ensure you're getting the value it deserves. So, what can you do with your Iliada 995 quarter if you suspect it's an error coin? Well, you could sell it at a coin auction or through a reputable dealer, but make sure to do your research first so you don't miss out on its true value. So, there you have it. The Iliada 995 Washington quarter might look like just another coin in your collection, but with the right conditions and a little luck, it could be worth a fortune. If you find any coins with unusual doubling or other errors, make sure to check their value. Who knows, you might just have a rare treasure on your hands. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, history, and insider secrets. See you.